Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sequoia Project Podcast, the podcast dedicated to talking about the ins, outs, ups, and downs of business. My name is Coby and I'm joined here by my co-host, Dale. Say hi, Dale.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
I nearly didn't introduce you again.
This is just the Coby
Nearly
podcast
kept it as the Coby show. Today, we're going to be talking on a topic that I'm sure literally everyone has fucking heard about when it comes to... We need to stop swearing it within the first, 2 minutes of this podcast.
You just get on a roll.
I can't stop. Something that everybody has probably heard about in business, and that's going to be around passive income. I think everyone who started a business has had the goal of getting it to passive income. Everyone who's watched YouTube has heard about $10,000 a month passive income.
How sexy.
How sexy. But is it all really that sexy, Dale?
Is it all that it's cracked up to be? That's what we're going to find out today.
I was just playing with my TV remote.
The answer is
no, it's not.
No, don't give it away. We're going to do it. We're going to make it.
The answer is yes. Or is it?
The answer is maybe. Stick around to find out. That's all we want to do. Because otherwise everyone will just get out of the podcast now. They'll stop listening.
And why would they do that? We give nothing but great information. But
Exactly.
We're two very different areas of business, one in which that you've had plenty of passive, and I still go out and work because I don't have passive.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to just decipher here is, one, we're going to wind the clock back to before we kind of had a business and we had heard about passive income and how sexy it all sounds. Then we're going to fast forward into 2 years to business, ask Coby some questions and kind of pick his brain. Then we're going to fast forward 5 years after that, so 7 years in total, and find out how passive income actually works and the experience that I've had around it anyway. I'm sure everyone's experience is different, but that's kind of how we're going to roll today. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're just going to have some fun with it, I think. So let's wind the clock back. Let's go back in time. Let's go before you started anything, I want to say, before you started even trying to get
back
on
when I was a wee baby.
When you were a wee little boy. And before you even tried to buy courses or anything like that on getting started in business, what did you think passive income actually was at that point?
Yes. So I thought passive income was money that you didn't have to do anything for. So it came in passively. You just have something that was going to, you didn't have to keep doing something, or you did have to keep doing something, and it was very, very small, but it just kept recurring, coming in. The way it was kind of described to me was like rent. Like you own a house and that rent just keeps coming in constantly every single week or month or anything like that. And you're not actually doing anything, but realistically you have to upkeep the house. So
yeah,
that's kind of, it was just kind of money that would roll in passively into your bank account. I obviously knew that you had to do something to get there in the first place, but that's not what everyone would tell you about. It would tell you about how sexy having money rolling in is.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of the stuff that you see kind of gives you this awesome idea that you can just put a product online and then people will buy it and you'll do nothing and it'll just turn up.
Drop shipping.
Money will just turn up. Drop shipping, all that sexy shit. But my understanding of it was very similar in the way that it was yeah, cool. You set something up that does an action over and over again, and that action gets you paid.
Yeah.
And when I first heard about it, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I was like, I got to get me some of that.
100%.
I was like, yeah, I need to get me some of that. And then as things kind of unfolded, and now that you have 2 years experience in business, how realistic do you think it is for a new business owner to just start pulling levers and making passive income?
Well, I remember when I first started talking to you, one of my goals was passive income. I think that's something I specifically said to you in one of our first conversations. And 2 years in, there is so much that you need to set up for it to be passive. You need to do everything yourself first. Especially me as a photographer now, I need to go out and fucking shoot all of this stuff first. And I need to put all these systems in place. And then slowly you start bringing things in that the people cover everything you hate doing.
Yeah.
So if it's something like editing, that's now passive to me because I just upload it and then it gets sent back to me. Or Then eventually you get to the point where it's shoots. The shoots come in, I talk to people, I send other people go out to do the shoots. That was great English. To go out to do the shoots. And then there'll be a point where that's covered, so that an assistant can come in, handle all of the meetings, send the other photographers out to the shoot, then they upload everything to the editors, and then that's all done. That's all passive. That's a whole process that I needed to still do in my third year of business now. Still have to go out and do all the shoots and everything like that myself. Because it's if you're not doing it yourself, you can't make it passive eventually.
Yeah.
So you need to actually have your processes and work your ass off still.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, and that paints a really good picture there. Is like, that's kind of a step-by-step thing. Is even now, Coby has 2 years experience in business. He still sees the parts of the business that can be passive. He's not looking at it being like, I can't wait until this is passive. There is a system, there is a process for things to become more passive before they become fully passive. And in my experience, like, I mean, we're fast forwarding really quickly now, but in my experience, nothing is truly passive. I think the statement as passive as practical is more realistic, because
there's always something you're going to have to do.
For sure. Even like under me, like, so like we have my general manager, underneath them we have teams managers, and underneath them we have the actual teams itself. A lot of those people take responsibility off me, and over the years have taken the responsibility off me, and that responsibility has been pushed down the chain. So now I have far less responsibility. But if we have a change in staff, if someone gets injured, if someone gets, if the prices of supply go up, those things all still have to be dealt with by someone. And I'm the only person that can make those decisions. So yes, it's much more passive than it used to be, in terms of I'm not actually going and hammering and drilling and doing all that kind of stuff. But it's never completely passive, because you have to be preparing for the eventualities that might happen to protect how passive the thing is. If you just said, cool, I've got a general manager and I've got all these people that do stuff, and I'm just not going to think about this business at all, you're going to have to put out fires a lot more often. It's not going to be as comfortable as being with having a passive business. But if you acknowledge the fact that 90% of your business can be passive, and you just take the 10% responsibility of going, I'll consistently work on these procedures, systems, teams, all those kinds of things, even though it is passive, you'll have far less fires to put out in keeping your business alive. The other thing that comes with something being passive more often than not is cost, which is a lot of people don't talk about.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money for shit to be passive. You have to be making a lot of money. I don't think if you're making under $100,000 a year, maybe even closer to $250,000 a year, and unless you're super systems oriented, I don't think you can afford your business to be passive, because the amount of talent that it takes to be able to leave someone and go, I trust them, I'm paying them enough. If you think about this in terms of salary, how much, like the average, like celery, yeah, delicious, right? Shut up. What are you talking about? Sorry. But if you think about someone that's getting paid $60,000 a year, can you leave that person in charge to run a car dealership? No. Like, if you think about a sales manager, they're probably on 90 to 120,000 for a really good one. They just manage the sales team, not the heads of accounts, not the marketing division. That's just the sales team. So if you think about how expensive it is for top tier talent, I don't think realistically you can expect to have someone who is that talented that can just say, all right, mate, go on holiday and I'll take care of everything, until, you're making north of a couple of $1 million a year.
Yeah.
So you are going to have to hand away parts of the pie, not the whole thing, because you just simply can't afford the talent to run it. So yeah, the expectation or the experience that I have is that it costs way more money to make things passive than I anticipated that it did. And then the reason, if you want to save costs on that, you have to be obsessive about how you train, about your processes, about your systems, because then you can take unskilled people and make them skilled in your business. But that takes a commitment as well. It might not be as monetarily, financially cost effective up front, or might not cost as much financially up front, but it will cost time, it will cost energy. That's the trade you take when you don't have cash. And that's what I had to do.
And there's also going to be the fact that you can't literally just make everything passive at once. You have to make small parts passive first to make it get to that like 98%.
For sure. I think we used this analogy the other week when you and I were having a conversation, it's like if you get sick and you take 10 different pills and then you feel better, you have no idea what pill actually worked. You just know next time I get sick, I have to take 10 pills. But if you actually tested one pill and you were like, no, I actually don't feel any better, tested another, waited some time, tested another. Oh, okay, that made me feel a bit better. Oh, this is the pill that actually worked. That's what systematizing your business is actually like. If you just try and outsource everything immediately, you'll have no idea where it went wrong. You'll have no idea how to fix it. But if you just do one piece at a time, you can use that process, test it. If it gets fantastic results, cement it in place and keep it, nurture it. And then use the time you gained back to work on the next one. And you compound like that. But yeah, just going, I'm sick of running business. I'm going to outsource it all to the Philippines. Mate, you are going to have a fucking headache and it's just going to be in a different language.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks for coming to the episode.
That's it, mate. We nailed that. What was that? 12 minutes. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, we went back. That's what most people would think of passive income. Yeah, cool. Like you just get passive income. No, you build passive income. And to get good at managing income to a point where it can become passive, you have to have a shit ton of experience actively getting income.
What was the first thing you made passive within your business?
The first thing I made passive was the junk, the actual serviceman in junk business. And the way that I did that was after about 3 months of doing it myself and just people going crazy about this kid that rocks up and runs everywhere and like is in such a rush to pick up all your trash and sweep up and do all these kinds of things. I found out the things that blew the valued lid completely off the bucket. So I had tested those things and documented those things for 3 months, and every single customer I had was like, holy shit. I had people offering me jobs. I had people paying me more than the invoice. I had people giving me bonuses in cash because they were just like, I can't believe the amount of work this person will do. So that was the blueprint. And then the service was, now I bring someone into the team. They come with me in the truck. I never sent them out. I never said, all right, cool. Like I need more. I've got too much work. You go out in the truck. I sacrificed being able to do double the work to be able to have double the impact on the person I was training. I brought them with me and I said, your job is to follow this checklist. And before you go and do it on your own, I want you to check me off. I want you to watch me do it word for word, box by box, off the top of my head. And once you've seen me do that 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, you'll know for a fact it can be done. And that's what I expect.
Yeah.
And most people would rush out and be like, oh, I've got so much work. I just need a second person. I just need a second truck. I just need a second whatever. It's no good if the customer doesn't get the same experience, because what's driving growth is customer experience. If you just say, put anyone in a truck and send them out, you will not get the growth that you need to support that second person. You'll be back to one person, one truck in no time. So in that instance, we made the service passive first, where I could just handle the appointments and make sure the customers were happy and figure out how to grow the team. But yeah, it was everything. It was watch how I knock on the door, watch how far away from the door I step, listen to the words I say and how I say them. That was all on the checklist. And then they showed me that they could do that without the checklist in front of them, because I memorized it before I even let them go in the truck on their own, because that's how good the service had to be. That's what was growing the business. And I didn't know my asshole from fucking last Tuesday. So I was like, I have to know this is the thing that's working. I have to protect
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. First thing was the actual service. And then that bought me more time to look at my own internal processes. And then I started to systemize how I work as an operator, how I get more out of my own time. And then, after that, it was just, again, processes and systems, accounts, everything that we were doing, how can we do it better, faster, and smarter?
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, when it comes to anything, probably the first thing that I actually ended up making, I suppose, passive, was automating literally like all of my email systems and everything like that, like my inquiry system. That was the first thing that I did. And that didn't even require getting another person in. It just made sure that I had literally the best process from the moment somebody inquires all the way up until their wedding day. And it's even got everything planned literally after their wedding day. So it has, here's what they get sent an hour after they inquire. Here's the next day. Here's if they don't respond to this amount of time. Here's their final email. Here's literally asking for a review why they didn't respond, why they didn't go with us. Once they do, it's got everything from their timeline, their photos, fucking all that sort of shit, literally until their wedding day. And then It's got set because we know how long we're going to take before we send them. Literally a couple days before they receive their gallery, they're sent a message letting them know that they're going to receive their gallery on this date. And then, grab some wine or something like that, whatever people do. They're adults. I don't know. I'm only 23. Whatever they do. And to sit down and prepare for the fact that they're going to be able to look at their entire wedding gallery. Simple as that. The first thing, which this is literally the first time we're testing it now, is having an editor. That's something that I fucking hate doing. That takes so long, but it took me till my 3rd year of business to finally test someone out there and see how it is. And I hate it. Having someone else do things for you and like having to let yourself like not have that control is insane.
It's a skill in itself.
Yeah. Once I sent it off to him and everything, he sent me back a couple of like photos today, this morning, to let me know kind of like how they look. And I'm like, well, they look great. Like they're edits. That's what I imagine. I gave him everything that I needed to do it.
Yeah.
But it's really weird because I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not seeing this whole process and everything when the editing process is always going to be the same. It's editing fucking photos. But yeah, taking control out of that to make something passive is definitely a skill in itself, and acknowledging the fact that once things are there, there's a level of it being out of your control that you're no longer the one that's doing it.
Yeah. I think where most people go wrong, and I only know this from my experience because I did this, was I was so obsessed with how things got done in the beginning that I just didn't think anyone would care enough to do them the way that I did. The fact of the matter is when people are doing things for money, whether they're on an hourly rate or they're on a pay-per result or whatever they're on, they will generally do what they're told to do or asked to do. So, for example, if you drive through the McDonald's drive-through and ask for a Happy Meal, they'll give you the Happy Meal. Like, people generally do what they're paid to do. So the biggest problem for me was getting over this thing that's like, oh, I'm a perfectionist because that's my personality and not everyone has that personality. False. I'm a perfectionist because I have a process that will get it perfect.
Yeah.
That's it. If I thought within myself it was impossible to get something perfect, I wouldn't chase perfection. The only reason I know it is because I have designed a process to get it perfect.
Exactly.
So it's not a personality trait as much as it is a process. And when you do things yourself and you understand, hey, I hate editing or I hate doing this part of the business, but I'm going to do it until I'm great at it. Then when you do hand it to someone, you hand them a recipe that you know works. And then it gets easier to disassociate yourself from not being the person that does it, because there's a 5% chance they fuck this up, not a 95% chance, which means you don't have to micromanage them. You don't have to go back and wonder what the hell happened. What have they done? How did they open all these files? No, the checklist tells you exactly what file, you know where they went wrong. Why? You've done it 1,000 times. You know the process works. So for me, that was the easiest way. And once I figured that out at scale, that was the easiest way to grow the team. There was never a hold up of, we don't have the business, we don't have the work, we don't have the money, there was never a hold up of that. It was always a personal hold up. I can go and get work. That's fine. I can pay people to go and get work. There's so many ways to fill those voids. The biggest holdback, the biggest bottleneck was always me going, can I actually train this amount of people to do a job this good so that I won't have to micromanage them all the time? If you can get to that point, you can scale your business infinitely, because talent is harder to find than customers.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. It's so much easier to find a customer than it is to find a truly talented, dedicated person.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think if you can do that, if you can process your way to, well, I've done this 100 times, 100 times it's worked, I'm going to give that I'm going to train that into my employee. It's easier to walk away then and know for a fact, if they fuck this up, it's only going to cost me X.
Yeah.
You know, and then the more you do it too, and we've probably talked about this on the podcast, maybe worth diving into it more if we get into an episode about processes or my personal processes and things like that. But I actually then, when I had bought my time back and I had people doing almost every role in the business, I started to look at, okay, these kinds of roles, the 5% that's left over, these are the kinds of issues they have. Most of the time it costs less than $200. in the grand scheme of the job they're doing, I don't care about $200 if they don't bother me. So I would say to these guys, hey, if anything goes wrong and it's less than $200 to fix it, just fix it.
Yeah.
Don't call me, because my time is better spent, instead of trying to figure out where you guys fucked up and how to fix it for less than $200. I'm going to make 5 times that if I just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if it's under $200, I'm on a 1-to-5 ratio. Just do it. Fix it. I don't care. Just fix it. And you start to see where the little pitfalls are in the processes, and you can fix them before they even happen. And then that's when you get to a point of everything becomes more passive, not completely passive, but more passive, because you're fixing tomorrow's problems, and then you're fixing next week's problems, and then you're fixing next year's problems. And it's so much easier to manage that because you've got 365 days to fix next year's problems.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't listened to any other episode of the podcast, all Dale does is talk about processes. This is the 24th episode, and everything has a fucking process to it.
You could probably just skip the rest of the episodes, and you'll listen to this, and you'll be like, I need processes. If you don't know how to come up with processes, call me. That's my shit. That's what I do.
Processes is literally everything that you talk about.
Yeah, and that's exactly what pays the bills. Like I say to people, they say, oh, like you own these businesses, you're a businessman, you're this and that. I'm not. I have businessman qualities, but all I am is a person that highlights problems and solves them. That's it.
Yeah.
When I started doing that for myself instead of doing that for someone else's business as an employee, I saw the return on investment you can get for solving problems, your own problems. And then you go and you solve other people's problems. They pay you to do so. And then it gets to a point where you actually have to come back and solve your own problems again. And it becomes more beneficial when you're, I don't like to use the term, but like when your hourly rate, or when your pay rate is such a fact, a hiccup in your day is worth 5 customers' jobs.
Yeah.
So you have to be on top of how you manage yourself, how you manage your business, the processes and the systems. I want, if you think about a really good basketball team or any kind of sporting team, pick your sporting team of choice. If they were going to win a championship, it would be the things they did in the pre-season that allowed them to win a championship. The trades that they made, the training that they did, the conditioning that they did. That is the same thing for business. If you have processes that help you today and tomorrow and the next day, and you don't have to think, one day the championship will be on the line and you'll be too tired to think. Imagine if you just had something where you go, cool, I hit this button, it does this thing. I know that's going to happen. That's all I want in my life. If I wake up in the morning, I don't want to think about what to eat, what to wear. I know this stuff gets me the results. I have a goal. That's the goal that I'm going after. Everything contributes to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like building a skill. It's like fucking running. If you run every single day for the next month, you will get better every single day because you keep doing it. Your cardio will get better. Your legs will fatigue less. You'll be able to run longer, all this sort of shit. I don't fucking run, man. I just lift weights. I lift heavy metal circles. But it's just if you do that constantly, and then, because, fucking footy coaches, they know how to coach because they fucking did it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's how you build things to being passive.
What the hell kind of wrap up was? You went from running to football coaching to that's passive.
I realized that I fucked up somewhere and I had to bring it back around.
Nice. Anyway, if you don't know how to build processes, if you think the concept of building processes is boring, jump on our website. Links are all attached, and jump on a free call with us. In 15 minutes, I can tell you what processes you'll need to build anyway. You don't even have to pay us. It's more a thing is I'll highlight your blind spots. If you need help fixing them, then we work together. But if you just want to figure out what the fuck am I doing wrong? How could I save time? I'm working 100 hours a week. How can I work less? In 15 minutes, I can tell you all of that. Done it myself a million times. Links are in the description. Coby's brain needs a break because he's just going to talk to you about running and football coaches. And we're going to sign it off there. We will catch you next week. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Processes.
Dale's cut me off.
That's it. You're done.